All right, we got some Diddy stuff to talk about. Ooh, man, it's pissing me off. I'm getting heated, y'all. Am I turning red? Because I'm getting heated. All right, let's talk about Diddy because this dude's crazy. So,
amount of new sexual assault allegations,
oh
Sean Diddy
hell,
Combs is prepping for the trial of his life and assembling his own version.
yo, did you hear that he hired a? I think this might be actually what this video is about. Now that I think about it, he hired a D penalty attorney. What?
Of a dream team to take on the federal prosecutors in his sex trafficking case. On Monday, Combs' attorneys filed a third request to appeal his detention order. That order requires the Bad Boy
Oh hell.
Records founder to remain in jail until trial. But in those new court documents, new names have been added to the hitmaker's counsel. And those new names who agree to join his team are legal giants who are up for the challenge. So who are they? Anthony Rico is a well-established death penalty attorney. He reportedly led the defense in up to 45 federal death penalty cases. According to his bio on
Hey, Candace, there you go. Yeah, send him to the top of the mountain and leave him. Right? Holy hell.
the Fordham Law University website, some of the notable yet controversial cases included Rico serving on the counsel in the World Trade bombing conspiracy case and embassy bombing case
Whoa.
in 1998. Some of his other cases included People versus Corey Arthur. Arthur was charged in the murder of the son of former Time Warner CEO Gerald Levine. Rico was able to get the death penalty off the table and litigate Arthur's sentence to life in prison. He also previously represented the undercover NYPD officer acquitted in the 2006 killing of Sean Bell. According to his bio, he doubles as an adjunct professor of law at Fordham and
Oh hell.
has been practicing law since 1982. Another
Damn, that's longer than I've been alive. By the way, y'all, we started the Facebook group, the Mystery Project. It's pinned at the top of the is it pinned at the top of the YouTube chat? It's not. I'm gonna put it in the YouTube chat right now. Just search the Mystery Project on YouTube and search the Mystery Project on Facebook. Let's keep going, y'all.
new addition to the Diddy defense team is Alexandra Shapiro. According to her firm's website, she's labeled as one of the nation's leading appellate lawyers, and her work is recognized in the reversals of both civil and criminal cases. She graduated from Columbia University School of Law in '91 and began working as a clerk to Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg before going on to work in white-collar defense. Shapiro even landed her own huge wins in the Supreme Court and narrowed the scope of the federal fraud statutes to reverse the wire fraud convictions of Western New York developer Louis Simonelli and former Andrew Cuomo aide Joseph Percoco. She's also representing convicted cryptocurrency fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried, who is reportedly in the same unit as Shapiro's newest client, Sean Combs, aka Diddy. And
oh hell.
if you're wondering if
Also, did y'all see that Kesha? Remember Kesha? Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. Remember that? She put out things saying she's about to unleash the Kraken. For lack of a better word. Crazy as hell. Yeah. By the way, YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, we're live every night. And keep tapping the screen, y'all. Thanks for the little friendship things, too. Very sweet of you. Let's keep it going.
she's related to the Robert Shapiro from the O.J. Simpson case, the two are not related. Shapiro and Rico now join Mark Agnifilo and Teeny Garagos. Teeny Garagos is the daughter of the attorney to the stars Mark Garagos, who famously represented the likes of Winona Ryder, Michael Jackson, and Chris Brown. But according to Teeny's bio,
Winona Ryder, when she was stealing stuff, y'all remember that?
she's making a name for herself. She was a founding partner of
She stole my heart in Beetlejuice and then stole a whole bunch of stuff from stores. Remember that?
Agnifilo and Trader, and has defended clients in federal and state cases at the trial and appellate level. Her experience is in defending and investigating allegations of sexual misconduct, and she's represented a number of people accused of sexual assault and sexual harassment.
Damn.
But on the flip side, she
By the way, entertainment and educational purposes only, TikTok and YouTube overlords. You crazy AI robot people that tell grown adults what they can and can't say and discuss on an online platform. Appreciate it.
She's also represented victims of sexual assault and violence. But her range doesn't just include sex crimes. According to her bio, she's also defended a wide range of criminal matters, including securities fraud, wire fraud, public corruption, tax evasion, deportation, and narcotics cases. And of course, there's Mark Agnifilo, who seemingly has been the face of Diddy's defense team thus far. According to his bio on his firm's website, he's won acquittals in many of the most complex and difficult trials in America. In the past several years, he secured 3 acquittals in cases ranging from assault to international tax fraud to political corruption, and has tried more than 200 cases over his 30-year career. With all 4 combined legal experience, it seems they're all up for taking on a music mogul accused of sex trafficking. As Diddy faces another hearing slated for next week, we can expect his new additions to argue for bail once again. But will it be successful? Well, that's up for a federal judge to decide if third time's the charm.
Keep saying we love TikTok shop. Nanny, does that work? We love the TikTok shop. Remember when I used to like, I was drinking the coffee that somebody on the TikTok shop sent me. And then I was like, yeah, if you guys want to buy their coffee, go ahead and buy their coffee. And we sold like 20 bags of coffee. And then TikTok like shut the video down, closed the live stream, and said that it was against the rules or something like that because I wasn't displaying the product the whole time or something stupid. I was like, okay, well then y'all can go off. I've never done it since.
I'm joined now by criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Florina Altschuler.
Y'all remember that? That was crazy as hell.
Florina, I really appreciate you joining me today. Diddy has hired some pretty heavy hitters to join his defense team. Is it significant to you at all that he added a well-established death penalty attorney to his case, that being Anthony Rico?
Certainly, he's not charged with any crimes that expose him to the death penalty. But
you say that now, lady. You should plug some sort of toothpaste or teeth whitener. Right? My teeth are so white, P. Diddy's trying to throw a party in them. You what? Oh, that's horrible.
Somebody is charged with a crime.
I just brush them, y'all. That's all. I just brush them.
Especially somebody with significant money. They're going to hire established attorneys with experience, and they're going to hire a team of attorneys.
And he also added Sam Bankman-Fried's attorney, that being Alexandra Shapiro. What do you make of that addition to his team, given she's still representing Sam Bankman-Fried and he's reportedly housed in the same unit as Diddy?
You know, that's actually not all that surprising. Oftentimes, defendants will speak to other defendants. They'll have exposure to other defendants while in custody. And will sometimes, by recommendation of other defendants, hire an attorney that is representing one of them. I've many times seen clients hire the same attorney as somebody else that's in the same cell block with them just because of, references. It's not much different than how people find their estheticians or their physicians or pick the gyms that they go to. It's by word of mouth.
And just looking through their
gym and esthetician, the kind of coffee to drink, or the attorney that's going to represent you in the RICO and SA of like 120 people.
Bios, they all have very well-established careers.
Whoa, thanks for the friendship bracelets. Y'all are sweet. Thank you.
Each in their own right of defending clients accused from different ranges: assault, sex crimes, white-collar crimes, death penalty cases, etc.
We love the TikTok shop, don't we? After you hear all these certain words you're not supposed to say on TikTok.
But in your opinion, what will make Diddy's case different in terms of defending?
The biggest issue with his case is the number of alleged victims that are coming forward. And normally, when you have a case of one complainant against one defendant, instances of prior situations with other complainants are not going to be relevant. They're going to be entirely too prejudicial, and they're not something that's going to come into evidence at trial. Think of the Weinstein case where they did, and then the case in New York was reversed because of those three other women's incidents that came into evidence and the court determined were entirely too prejudicial for purposes of determining whether or not he committed the offense charged with that one. In this case, what I expect is going to happen, at least on the civil end, is there's over 100 different complainants coming together, suing together, almost like a class action lawsuit, which for purposes of a sex crime is really unique. And that's going to allow all of that evidence cumulatively to come together in one case. I would not be surprised. In fact, I fully expect that in the criminal case, the same thing is going to happen because he's charged with sex trafficking. And so they're going to be able to put into evidence before the same one jury this long list of women and men who are the victims of his actions. And that, while it's overwhelmingly prejudicial, is relevant to the charges. And so it's going to come in and it's going to.
Dear Lord. So, Vanity, hi. Long time no see. Thanks for the roses. Hey.
To be really difficult to overcome. You know, I've had clients who have had this slew of charges that for.
He just got. That's just a creepy. You can tell. Just look in the eyes. And you're like, no.
Factual reasons under those circumstances are able to be brought together. And I explained to them, listen, I could beat the first. I could beat the second. Maybe I could even beat the third. But when you have 27 different ones, we're just not going.
Whoa. Tara, thank you. We're almost there.
To be that lucky. After a certain point, there's this tipping point, and it's just too many people saying the same thing that the jury is not going to find reasonable doubt. And I think that's going to be his biggest issue, unless
Tammy, right?
He's somehow able to convince a judge to separate those claims and keep the different complainants apart. But given the nature of the charges, I just don't see how that's going to be possible.
And given their kind of range of experience in the criminal defense world, what are your thoughts also on how that'll kind of play into the appeal process? You know, they're already appealing his bail order right now. They're hoping to go for a third time, hoping that Diddy will get bail. But how important,
man, you can get 5 years just for that turtleneck alone,
is the appeal process?
And those glasses. That's 3 years right there for the glasses. That's 8 years, just that one outfit.
All throughout this, even given that we're not even at trial yet.
So every good trial attorney has to have a keen ear for appeals. Everything that we do in preparation for trial, during our oral arguments, and during the trial itself is to
thank you, we hit it.
Preserve the record for purposes of appeal and to preserve any legal issues that come up where there might be a ruling that we believe could be reversed. The best thing to do, which they're doing, is to have a team of attorneys, because a trial attorney is not always an appeal attorney, and an appeal attorney is most certainly not a trial attorney. And so when you have a team of attorneys with different specialties.
Why does that lady have a Campbell's soup can painting on her wall behind her? I know that is totally random, but so is that painting.
You can have appellate counsel watching, overseeing, and identifying those issues as they come up. You can also have that appeal attorney counseling the trial attorney to highlight things that that trial attorney may not know to argue and to preserve. Without the two working together, that trial attorney has to also be an appellate expert, which is not often the case.
And you said something interesting. You said team. Now, some are also saying this is kind of Diddy's version of setting up like an OJ Simpson like dream team. What are your thoughts on that kind of comparison?
Unfortunately, in Diddy's case, the oil does fit.
Elizabeth, I've been thinking that our entire conversation. That's absolutely correct, and that's a great point, right? You know,
That's an Andy Warhol painting? Really?
O.J. Simpson
I guess I'm not quite as cultured as I thought.
had someone who was an expert in DNA. O.J. Simpson had someone who really was able to hone in on racial issues. He had excellent trial attorneys. He had excellent writers, excellent appellate attorneys. You have to have that team come together to collaborate, especially in a case where the volume of evidence is going to be so great that it is just time wise impossible for one attorney to have the hours in the day and the days in the year.
Cats and Crochet Patrick, I lost my home in Cedar Key. Please keep all in prayers. Oh my God. Yeah, that was the first video that we watched too, was all about just the destruction and how it's shocking. Not shocking is like the understatement of the century. It is absolutely vile how little is being done by certain entities that should have had that solved like that. Absolutely, thoughts and prayers to everybody. Cats and Crochet and everybody else. I mean, it's sickening. Like it makes me sick thinking how, well, you already know. There's things you can't say because they get mad as hell, but it's disgusting. It is. It really is. You have my thoughts, prayers, anything I can do. Anything I can do.
To review everything.
Let's keep going.
And, you know, I have cases sometimes where the case that I am trying right now, 6,600 jail calls. There's not enough minutes in the day or days in the week to be able to sit there and listen to them. You need to have support. You need to have additional humans.
Hey, you got to get AI on that
to go through all of that evidence. In federal cases, I get discovery on disks that are in the terabytes of data. It is just too much for one person to be able to do, regardless of how brilliant they may be.
And as the attorneys are appealing that bail order and going hopefully to get Diddy bail for now a third time, do you think that'll be successful?
Unfortunately, I do not. Federal law as it comes to bail is not the same as state court law. Now, in state court, you can argue whether or not the person is a flight risk, argue that they are not a flight risk, and either get them released on their own recognizance or have bail lowered. In federal court, flight risk is a question to be addressed. However, the judge is allowed to, can, and should consider the nature of the charges. And in this case, the nature of the charges is bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
You have to consider the number of alleged victims, the time span of the crime, and the
alleged ages of some of these victims. Man, Carol, thank you for the hand heart too. Appreciate that.
Gravity of the incidents that are alleged. And based on that, I am not at all surprised that a federal...
Y'all, so you guys know I'm a musician, right? See that sign behind him? It says Grammy Awards. Yeah, there was a time in my life where I was like, man, I can't wait to win a Grammy. When I was in the music industry, man, I was like, y'all can take that and shove it right where the sun don't shine. Hell no. That whole industry is... Y'all think this is bad? This is what came out. This is what's getting exposed now. Y'all think, and you think that's bad? Oh, Man, unfortunately, this, as horrible as this is like Disneyland compared to some of the craziness. Just wait. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see.
Judge
I hope.
is holding him in custody, and I would not expect him to change his mind and release him.
All right, Florina, I really appreciate your insight into this case. Before I sign you off, anything else you'd like to add?
I think this is going to be an interesting case that's going to have to go to trial, because I just don't see how the government is going to offer a plea that's not going to involve prison time. And I don't see Diddy taking a plea that is going to involve prison time. So this is definitely one to watch.
Florina, again, thank you so much. I appreciate your time today.
Thanks for having me, Elizabeth.
Don Diddy Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges including racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking.
Damn.
Through his attorneys, he says he's innocent and will fight to clear his name, and has denied the most recent wave of more than 120 sexual assault allegations against him. The music mogul is slated to appear in court again next week on October 9th. Reporting for Law and Crime, I'm Elizabeth Milner.